everyone. Good Saturday morning to you. I am Liz Isaacson here with you on July 1st. It's a very exciting time to be alive. My kids and my family and I, we always have a little saying that we're like, hashtag, what a time to be alive. And this is it, July 2023. I wanted to get on and talk a little bit about what's going to be happening this month. We've got a lot going on. A lot of authors do Christmas in July. It's very common. They team up or they do some things on their own. Books go on sale, all kinds of things. So if you are a lover of Christmas romance, yay, you're in the right place. I've got a lot of those. Oh, and I see some people coming in. Awesome. We see Denise says happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you too. And then I don't know who this is, but good morning. Good morning. It's morning where I live as well. So it's 10 o'clock in Utah and it's sunny today, which is something. A lot of our mornings have been really gray and stormy, and it doesn't really storm, but it just is the threat of a storm. So welcome. If you're joining us from the Feel Good Fiction reader community or the Feel Good Fiction Facebook page or the Feel Good Fiction YouTube channel, welcome in. And Paula is going to lead us right where we need to go. Love the Shiloh Ridge Ranch series. I'm so glad because July is going to be focused on Shiloh Ridge Ranch. So I was saying before I decided that I probably should welcome everybody. Let me know if you're here, put a comment in, say where you're from, maybe what book, if you've read Shiloh Ridge. If you haven't, that's okay too. But I hope you will this month. Christmas in July. A lot of authors do it. I have a lot of Christmas books. Liz has, I don't know, she's 4 full series that are only Christmas romance. And then quite a few other, Christmas books within other series. So my guess is she probably has close to 50 or 55 Christmas romances. So, I mean, that's all I wrote for like 3 years straight. I released a new book every month, and it was a Christmas cowboy romance because I love it so much. And I think a lot of you do too. So I really appreciate that. I love all of your books. Thank you so much. I love writing books that I hope other people will connect to and enjoy and feel something in their life that brings them closer to other people or to God. So I'm really happy that you love the books. Thank you. I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going to be going on specifically in the reader group. If you're not in the reader group, that's where most of our activity is going to be happening. And so I'm going to put up a little link here that's going to get you over to the reader group if you are not already there. Oh, I've got to go hide that other comment. Let me hide that. Okay. And I see some other comments. I'll get to you just a second. Good morning, Jacqueline and Victoria. Awesome. If you are not in this group on Facebook, and I know some of you aren't on Facebook, there's 2 ways that we're going to be doing a lot of our giveaways and prizes this month. And it's through the reader group and it's through newsletter, which comes direct to your email inbox. I would like you to be on both in order to win our big prize packages. There's going to be 2 big prize packages. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but when I wrote Shiloh Ridge, the first book is The Mechanics of Mistletoe. I have it right here. This is a glossy one. See how it's all shiny? I got a couple of boxes on my porch yesterday, and I was watching these FedEx, UPS, Amazon guys carry them up. And I was like, why do we have these huge boxes that say heavy team lift? I'm like, what did you order? So I started asking my husband, I'm like, what'd you order on Amazon? He's like, nothing. He goes, oh, I ordered a step stool. I go, oh yeah, that's there too. But what are these other big boxes? I also do subscribe and save on Amazon. And I often get quite a few things at the end of the month that come every month, but I'd canceled all my bottled water because I was like, we have cases and cases of it and I don't need any more. So I was like, what are these? And then this morning I started prepping for the live event and I was like, man, I really wish I had my new books. I ordered new books for the giveaway because I've recently changed all of my paperbacks from glossy to matte. And I didn't bring it downstairs. It's all upstairs. I might have a Gideon one down here somewhere. I don't know what I did with them. They're in the other room. But this one is glossy. You can see the light, the wind from the window kind of reflects on it. The matte ones don't do that. And they're like soft and velvety. So I bought brand new paperbacks for a big giveaway in Shiloh Ridge. And then if you were lucky enough to get the holiday edition cover, which came out last year, this is what it looks like. And so this is actually a hardcover. I did hardcovers in this first book, Mechanics of Mistletoe. You can still get the holiday edition on my website. You just can't get it you can't get it anywhere else. So if you're not in the group is going to be a pretty vibrant, happening place this month. Number one, I teamed up with some other amazing, sweet, and Christian romance authors to do a free book every day for the first 12 days. So I already posted in the group today about Terry Blake's book, and every day there will be another free book, and that will go out in an email and it will go out on Facebook. So if you're looking for new authors, I know these are people who write clean and wholesome, or they write Christian romance, which is very similar to what I write. And if you're here with me, you're probably going to like their books too. So that's going to be in the group number one. We're doing Christmas in July, 12 days of giveaway. That's one thing. Bear's birthday bash starts on July 5th. And like I said a couple of minutes ago, we're going to have 2 big prize packages. And so, I see I have read all of your books. Oh, thank you so much. That's a lot of books. Liz has like 105 books at the moment. Victoria says, watching from the beach. Oh, it's my dream. I've read Shiloh Ridge Ranch. Love that series. Thank you so much. I love Shiloh Ridge too. And when I started writing Bear's book, I actually put Bear off. I think I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again. I put Bear off. I had pitched the idea of Bear's romance with Sammy in Three Rivers to Hallmark. And she was a female mechanic. And all of the books in Shiloh Ridge feature a heroine who has a male-dominated job. So in book 2, Oakley is a race car driver. So I just had kind of gone through like, what would be kind of fun to write? What would be a little bit different? And so that's what I did. In book 3, Montana owns a construction firm. So she's a female construction worker. She builds all the houses at Shiloh Ridge. We don't see a lot of women doing that. In book 4, Holly Ann is a Santa Claus. She's a secret Santa Claus. And so we don't ever typically think of women dressing up and playing the part of Santa Claus at Christmas, but why wouldn't they? That's awesome. I'm like, they love children. And anyway. So they all have these male dominated jobs, and Sammy owns a mechanic shop. And so she's come up to Bear's Ranch quite a few times, and he has this big crush on her, and he wants to ask her out. And so he hires Evelyn from Seven Sons, who's a matchmaker, to set him up. But at the time, Evelyn didn't exist, and I had pitched this idea of Bear and Sammy, Three Rivers, to Hallmark. They were accepting, of course, they want Christmas stuff, and they were accepting book proposals. And they kept it for quite a long time and read the proposal and the sample chapters, and it went all the way to their development team, their movie team, everything. And they finally rejected it because they didn't know how to make Sammy cute. They didn't know how to make a female mechanic cute. And that made me kind of mad. I'm not going to lie. It made me kind of mad. And I thought, fine, then you can't have them. But I also sort of dashed my hopes that anybody would want that. And so I shelved Shiloh Ridge for a year, and I wrote Seven Sons instead. So I already had the covers for Shiloh Ridge. I was ready to write them. I thought if Hallmark will purchase them, great. If not, I'll do it. And then I kind of got my hopes dashed, and I set it aside, and I wrote Seven Sons instead. So that was, another 8 books in another year. And finally I was like, I have to write Shiloh Ridge. I think it's still going to be a good idea. I don't care what Hallmark says. And that's where Shiloh Ridge came from. And I finally wrote it and released 11 books in the series. And then I got asked to write in a Christmas anthology last year. So I decided to write Zona and Duke's story, which is really short. And I got a little tiny pocket paperback for it. It's so cute. And I'll show it to you in just a second. But Shiloh Ridge quickly became sort of a phenomenon for me. I got involved in it. I became a Glover. Other people became Glovers. It very quickly became my most popular series that a lot of people love. It's the only series that's ever been optioned for TV or film. And so Sony has bought Shiloh Ridge, the rights to produce Shiloh Ridge in TV serial format. there's a writer's strike right now. So we can't pitch the book to any writers. We can't pitch it to any showrunners. We can't pitch it to anybody, but because there's a writing strike going on right now. But it was super exciting to get that call from Sony. And it's actually from Sony Affirm. Affirm is their faith-based line of productions. They have produced The Soul Surfer and lots of other faith-based things that you may watch if you watch that kind of thing. So I was super excited about that. I've always wanted to sell something of my book to be made into a TV or movie, but I was always a little worried that if they bought something by Liz, that they would take out some of the things that make it what it is, and that is strong family Christian values. So I was a little worried about that, but when I talked to the ladies at Sony Affirm, they're like, we're faith-based. That's what we want. And I was like, yay. So I just sold those rights to them. I maintain all of my intellectual property. I own everything, but I give rights, I sell rights to other people so that they can produce my work in different formats. That's how it works on the author side. I can't make my own movies and TV series, but Sony can. They have big production studios, right? Big, huge thing you can go see in Hollywood, which we have done and toured their studios. So anyway, that was really fun to do that. And it's the only thing that's ever done anything like that. Anything that sparked any interest has been Shiloh Ridge. So as I was thinking about Christmas in July, and I was like, I don't really want to do it. Everybody's going to be doing it. Then I thought, but you know what? Bear's birthday is in July. In his book, he turns 45, and Sammy plans a big birthday party for him at the bowling alley, and it's a surprise party, and she invites all the other cowboys from all the other ranches. That's how we get to see Rhett and Jeremiah from Seven Sons. We get to see Libby's parents, who kind of come in throughout the series from Golden Hour. We get to see the Reinhardts, who Arizona eventually marries one of their sons, and we get to see the cowboys from Three Rivers Ranch. So there's three ranches in Three Rivers right now. And I'm not going to say there's not going to be more, because there are. And I love Three Rivers, and I love going back there and visiting those cowboys and those families. So I thought, I'm going to do Bear's birthday bash in July. So we're going to do Bear's birthday bash in July. It's going to be awesome. And like I said, join the Facebook group if you're not already there. Some of you are probably watching from there. The other really, really good way to get all of the information and not miss anything is to join my newsletter. So this is a link to, it's LNK. So lnk.to/Liz Isaacson. And that will take you to a place where you can join the newsletter. I will have newsletters going out every day. If that bothers you, just glance at it quickly. The first 12 days of Christmas, first 12 days of July are going to have your free book in it from me and my friends. And then Bear's birthday bash is going to kick off on the 5th. So you're going to definitely want to have a newsletter that day. And then on the 13th, 11, 12, 13, let me look at my spreadsheet. We had to create a spreadsheet for this because it is really complex. Yes. July 10th, we're going to start our giveaways. We're going to do a swag pack giveaway. We have 2 big prize packages. And then on the 13th, we are going to do our own 12 days of giveaways, one for each of the 12 books in Shiloh Ridge Ranch. So what I did, my friends, and I admit this in my newsletter, and so you're getting a little sneak peek before then, but I wanted to choose something to give away to one of you, an amazing reader, that meant something from the book. So I didn't just want to give away a scented candle. And I didn't want to just give away, a Christmas pair of socks, which are fun and cool. And I do have some things like that in the big prize basket. But for each book, I thought I need to get into the book and try to find something that a reader would like, that is very tied to this book, tied to the Glover family, tied to this ranch. And so that's what I tried to do. And I tried to cheat my way through it and ask ChatGPT to read some chapters for me and give me some gift ideas. And it was too vague. And ChatGPT, which is AI, I don't know if you guys are aware of that. Artificial intelligence is kind of a big thing in the world right now. It literally admitted to me that it does not read in the traditional sense. And I thought, well, you know what? Then I need to read in the traditional sense. And so I buckled down and I read, and I didn't buckle down. I reread all 12 Shiloh Ridge Rants books. And literally by about page 50 in Mechanics of Mistletoe, I'm bawling. And my husband's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm just reading one of my books." Like, I mean, I fell in love with them all over again. And I'm so excited. If you have not read Shiloh Ridge yet, I'm like, you're gonna love it. And if you have, I'm like, reread it because you're gonna love it. I hadn't read them for quite a long time. I've been focused on the Young family and those brothers, and they're just different. It's still a big family saga, but they're country music stars. And Bear and his family are not. They're just different. And so we've been really hard at work behind the scenes. I read all 12 books. I chose prizes from each one. So we will have a prize from each book coming up from July 13th through the 24th. Our swag packages, our big 2 prize packages. One of the prize packages is going to be all 12 paperbacks, newly matted. And I just found a t-shirt this morning on Instagram from Pages and Pines on Instagram, and I thought I have to have that for my giveaway. And so I messaged her and said, "Can you please send me an image so that I can put it in my newsletter and talk about it and give away a t-shirt with my big design and my big gift basket?" And she said yes. So we're going to be doing that. I have that t-shirt for you. And then I went to my husband and I said, "I need you to design me something for Shiloh Ridge." He's like, "Okay." And then he puts it off. And finally, this past week, I'm like, "I need you to design me something for Shiloh Ridge." He's like, "Okay, what do you want?" And you should hear our conversations. I'm like, "Well, it's Christmas and they have this angel tree and it's flocked. So it's white, all white. And they, there's a blue barn they do a bunch of stuff in that they rebuild, and they have a family cemetery, and cowboys, like just something quaint, like Wells, small town, go." And he's like, that's literally what he does. And I'm like, he's like, "Well, what colors?" I'm like, "Well, Christmas, like red and white." Like, I don't really like red and green, but red and white, maybe lighter greens, pines, blue. And so he came up with this. I'm just going to put it right over my face. I love it. So he drew this true blue. Actually think this is a graphic that he modified. He hand drew all the trees. Now I know they live in the panhandle of Texas, and maybe this wouldn't be pine tree and snowy mountains, but it evokes the feel I wanted it to evoke. Sammy drives an old truck. Remember, it's her brother's truck. Her brother-in-law's truck. And her sister and her brother-in-law have passed away, and she's raising their son. And then here's their flocked tree, their angel tree that they decorate the last Sunday of every October. And when I saw it, I was like, I just stood there and I was like, this is perfect. This is perfect. And so we are going to be doing things with all of our fun graphics. We have a circular one that we're going to be putting on mugs, which I also have a picture of here for you. This is one thing that you could win this month. And I am going to be putting some of this amazing Shiloh Ridge Ranch merchandise in my Feel Good Fiction bookshop. So this one, I'm going to go back to this one, kind of looks like a snow globe. Can you kind of see that snow globe shape? But we also made it round for the mugs, but it looked better on t-shirts if it was more snow globey. Isn't that the most amazing thing you've ever seen in your life? Okay, maybe not your whole life, but I ordered myself a sweatshirt. It's going to be here soon. I'm going to take a picture of myself in that. We've ordered mugs. We've ordered bookmarks. We've ordered aprons, my friends, because so many of the Glovers cook. As I was reading the books, I was like, okay, Bishop cooks, Ida cooks, Etta cooks, even Bear can cook. Ward is an amazing cook. I'm like, Judge puts together food. I'm like, all of these people can cook. And so I'm going to be putting together some recipe books from the men and women at Shiloh Ridge. We're going to have a whole Christmas cookie recipe book because Arizona makes a ton of Christmas cookies and takes them over to Duke when he moves back to the ranch. There's just so many exciting things. So I hope you're excited about it. We've got some things over here. You have made my day by telling us there's going to be a Shiloh. Well, I don't know if there'll ever be one. They bought the rights to try to develop it into one. Hopefully, they can do that. They're excited about it. And the more they're excited about it and they've got contacts in the TV industry, maybe one day they'll be able to get it produced. So I've only sold the rights to do it. We haven't actually had anybody say they want to do it. So Denise says, that's so cute. I love it. I really like it. I'm so glad you like it. I love them so much. When I saw them, I just kind of stood there and stared, and I was like, that's perfect. How did you pull that out of my head with me standing there rambling about a Christmas tree and like blue and white and maybe a flocked tree and maybe the true blue barn? But Ward and Dot also build a well and a big picnic area on the property. That might be kind of fun. I said horses, dogs, things that say cowboys, small town, Texas. And that's what he came up with. So I'm super excited about just Shiloh Ridge. I love Shiloh Ridge. So we're going to be doing Christmas in July, 12 days of giveaways, but birthday gifts for Bear. So I kind of combined them both into one. Just so that I could celebrate Bear and his family. He's the oldest Glover in his family. And, his dad has died and Rager's dad has died. And so I just wanted to kind of pull a bunch of things together. So if you have read some of the books, you know that their grandmother Priscilla crochets ornaments. So I have a bunch of crocheted ornaments here that are going to go into the prize package. I've went to a small town fair this week and I found some mechanic soap. Isn't that perfect for Sammy? We have found some things that we're going to be giving away in specific books. This one says, give it to God and go to sleep. We've got just other sort of fun small town things. All you need is love and a horse. This would be perfect for, say, Judge or Mr. Can't remember who I gave that one to. I put together a movie kit because in one of the books, I believe it's Horsepower, Cactus, Bishop, and Ace go down to the movie in the park to try to meet women. And so I thought I'm going to put together a little movie night. I've got gourmet popcorns here that I ordered on Etsy. So they'll be delicious from Nashville Fudge Kitchen. So I'm super excited about that. We got this, which I think goes with all of my big cowboy families. Crazy doesn't run in my family. It gallops. I love it. I bought 2 of these so that I could have one because one of my weaknesses is tea towels. If you want to make my day, it's a tea towel with a dog or a horse or somewhere that I visited. Everywhere I go, I'm like, oh, I need a tea towel from here so that I can remember that I went there. My second greatest weakness is throw pillows. And as I was reading the books, I was like, I know I gave someone a throw pillow weakness, that they just have pillows everywhere. And I was right. It's Holly Ann. Ace, she becomes Ace's wife. She owns 3 cakes in the book. So I got a throw pillow, which will go out with Holly Ann's book. It's part of her prize package. So every book has something that goes with it. And I tried to tie that to a character or to a scene from the book. And if it doesn't have that, a lot of these other things go in the big prize. So I have 2 prize packages, one of all paper packs and a t-shirt, one that will be a big Christmas gift basket that speaks of Christmas, family, and the Glovers. And then every book has its own prize package, and I'm doing swag packages. So there are 15 things going on this month, starting July 10th. July 5th is really when we're starting the birthday bash. I'm going to wait to send you that in the email so that you know what that's about. But I have things, and I cannot wait to show them all to you so that we can celebrate Bear and Sammy as they start their, bigger family traditions at Shiloh Ridge. I did order some cowboy stickers. This was Bear. And then this is like, I have a Glover Lover shirt and a Glover Lover sticker, and this was the cowboy I used on it. But then I realized that this is actually just a cowboy from another book cover that I had purchased. And I actually bought a new cover with Sammy and Bear, and this is what they look like. Oh, look, I can peek around them. Hi, Sammy. Hi, Bear. So I had to get new Bear stickers printed. They're not here yet. But so you can have a little Bear sticker for your computer, notebooks. You can even just stick it right inside the front of the book if you have a paperback book. And so I had to reorder those. But there's Bear and there's Sammy. And I know Sammy doesn't wear heels, but she is blonde and she is put together and she should probably be wearing some, coveralls or something. But I was like, that's perfect. And, they kind of just look perfect together. So I had a Bear and Sammy drawn, and you're going to be able to get those in the swag packages as well. I'm going to have some stickers of maybe the barn, maybe just our overall snow globe. I've got new bookmarks, but I didn't upload those. So to StreamYard, but there's going to be so many fun things. And again, there's going to be multiple posts in the Facebook group this month. So free books and Shiloh Ridge stuff and book releases and book sales and just how I talk to you about names and other things. So join us in the Feel Good Fiction Facebook group. That is where we have all of our fun. It's our reader community where you get to know me and I get to know you and we get to know each other. And join our newsletter, because those are the two places that you're going to need to be for our big giveaways coming up this month for Bear's Birthday Bash. We are celebrating birthdays and we're celebrating Christmas in July all in one, and we're celebrating the Glover family at Shiloh Ridge Ranch. So we're going to be doing all of those things. And I know it might be a lot as I've put it together. I have got I have to have a massive spreadsheet for me to go, what do I have? What do I still need? What pictures do I need? All that kind of stuff. So I hope you won't get overwhelmed. It's going to be easy for you to enter. There's going to be either a Google form or a Facebook post. So I'll make it very clear for you. Awesome to spend time with you this morning as well. Debbie is excited. I hope that my excitement for Shiloh Ridge, for Bear and Ranger and Bishop and all of the Cowboys there, our new logos, our new fun stuff coming has been evident to you. Jacqueline says, I love how much thought and detail you put into this. Thank you. I have been planning Bear's Birthday Bash for about 3 months, and I can't wait for us to talk more about the Glovers, for you to read the books if you haven't, reread them if you have already read them, because they're well worth a reread. As I was reading them, I was like, I didn't realize I put this in. And another fun thing that you probably don't know, as I was reading one, the Glovers have a family meeting every October about where they're going to invest their money, and how things have gone on the ranch for market day. And then they decorate their angel tree and they have their family dinner. And in one of the later books, I think it was Mister's book, The Wrangling of the Wreath, Ranger gets up and he says they're going to invest in boxcars, which is kind of a deviation for them. They usually pick a Texas-based company that's on the rise, or that has done well for them historically, and that's where they invest their money. That's why they have a lot of money. Well, lots of other reasons too, but they're billionaires. You have to have some reason that they have money. Anyway, and as I was reading that, I remember why I wrote that. So as I read these little details that I forget about, I'm like, I pulled that from my life. My dad died a couple of years ago, three, I think, right at the very beginning of 2021. So about 2.5 years. As he was in the hospital, I would go sit with him or to give my mom a break or whatever. And he had a brain tumor the size of a baseball. So he was lucid sometimes, but other times I could tell he was sort of just rambling. And one time he said, he was talking to me about investments. My dad loved to invest, loved it, loved it, loved it. And he told me that most people overlook things that aren't very sexy to invest in, like box cars and rail lines and stuff like that, because it's not that fun. He said, but how do we move goods? How do we move things around the world and around our country? We move them on planes and trains. And so he had invested in box cars a long time ago and made a lot of money. He was telling me this story. And as I was reading that in my book, I thought that came from my dad. I remember that conversation. And that's why I put in that book that Ranger said they were going to invest in box cars that year. So every book I read, I don't normally ever go back and reread my books. But as I was rereading this, I was like, I can see where that came from. I know where I was in my life when I was writing this book. So it was so fun to see that and remember my dad. And so I hope that as you read the books, there's little things that remind you of the people you love, or just make you feel at home with the Glovers. So if you missed the beginning, Annie, you can go back and watch it. But we're having a big Christmas in July, Bear's birthday bash. And it has been a fun, exciting time. And I hope that we have an amazing time this month. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I have been rambling for quite a long time, so I better stop. I wanted to show you some of the things that you might be able to win this month, talk about Bear and Shiloh Ridge, and just let you know that all of this stuff is coming. Newsletter, Facebook group. Make it a daily stop. I've got to check for my email to see what Liz has sent me today. I need to run over to the group really quick and see if I got my free book or what prize I'm entering today. So for what book. So just make those your daily stops this month in July. We're going to be doing Cowboys, Christmas, Glovers. It's going to be so much fun. And I hope to celebrate with you all month long. And then that's all I've got. I just wanted to let you know about it, talk about it a little bit so that you're prepared, because there's going to be more posts and more emails than normal. And again, if that bothers you, maybe just sit down and open them once a week and go, okay, yeah, I see what's going on. Okay, I can go enter. A lot of my giveaways will be open for multiple days. The free books for the first 12 days of the month are 1 day only. So you're definitely going to want to look at those every day if you're interested. And it can just be a quick, like, oh, I see the cover. Oh, I've already got that book. Or, oh, yeah, I better go grab that really quick. It can just take a couple of seconds. I also wanted to do one more reminder. My turtles for the beach blueprint. I've got 4 of them sitting right here. I don't have a book nearby. It's still open through July 9th. So you've got another week, or maybe July 8th to enter that. There's a post in the Feel Good Fiction Reader community. That's where you need to comment in order to enter the win, a paperback and one of these adorable crocheted turtles. So that's still going on right now. That will end on July 8th, right in time for us to start our big giveaways for Bear's birthday bash. Thank you so much for being here with me on your Saturday morning in July. And if you missed it, I hope you watched it from beginning to end, and you can go back and get some more. I will post links for my newsletter and the reader group, which I think I can do right now while I'm still on the live. And I think it will go out to all 3 channels at once. So I think I'm just going to do that while I'm sitting here, to just join us in those 2 places to get our big prize packages. You're going to have to be in those 2 places anyway. So you might as well join now so that you don't miss out on any of the fun. And if you have not read Shiloh Ridge and you'd like to read it or reread it, it's in Kindle Unlimited. It's in paperback. The first 5 books are in audiobook. So you can find out more about those. I put a little link in the comments as well about Shiloh Ridge. There's 12 books. And I just hope that we'll have an amazing month this July. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you later. Have an amazing Saturday.